He is very close to acting out, and there are a bunch of signals that show he's getting that itch. It's been months since his last incident, and he just can't control himself, and he's been sending some signals that he wants some attention, that he might be acting out again, and I feel that could even happen before the next trial, and that would be a massive error.
Johnny Somali has once again found himself in a spiral of poor decisions, and this time, it's looking like he's in serious trouble. As his next trial approaches on October 29th, Johnny is taking actions that are not only putting him in deeper legal jeopardy, but also potentially ruining his entire life. It seems like he's back to his old tricks, and this could be the beginning of his downfall. So, what exactly is Johnny doing now? Let's break it down. For those who don't know, Johnny Somali has already faced a string of legal charges, some of which are serious enough to guarantee him years in prison. In fact, he's already pled guilty to 6 charges, which could give him anywhere between 5 to 12 years behind bars. But instead of laying low and preparing for his trial, Johnny has chosen to make matters worse by reposting his criminal videos online. These are videos he was already charged for, and by uploading them again, he's essentially poking the hornet's nest of legal consequences. Why would Johnny do something so reckless? Well, it appears he's trying to manipulate the system once again. Johnny Somali has a history of pushing the boundaries and trying to manipulate others, especially when big events, like a trial, are coming up. He's done this before, and it seems he's at it again. The truth is, Johnny seems to think that by acting out and doing these kinds of stunts, he might get some sort of favorable attention or leniency before his next trial. But that kind of thinking could seriously backfire. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Johnny Somali has repeatedly disrespected the South Korean legal system, even calling it a joke. He's made statements like,
"The Korean legal system is not as strong as people think and perceive it to be. It's really like, if you like, even the dude that punched me in the face and I had to go get stitches, like the other people, bro, he's let out of jail the same day. Like, there's no pre-trial detention. And I took my shirt off and I got drunk, and I'm just like, I want to show them and make these YouTubers look so dumb, because now the narrative is changing. Voice Critical dropped the video yesterday."
It's clear that Johnny has no respect for the law, and he doesn't seem to take his legal troubles seriously. He's convinced that nothing will really happen to him, and that South Korea's authorities are weak. But this type of thinking is not only dangerous, it's incredibly naive. Johnny Somali's behavior is getting more concerning by the day. As Legal Mindset pointed out, Johnny is at a stage where he's about to act out again.
That I focus on the legal parts of this, not drama, not other stuff, not Discord stuff. No, none of that. I'm focusing on the law. And today we're going to talk about the law. But what's very important here is that we are at the part in the cycle where he is very close to acting out. And there are a bunch of signals that show he's getting that itch. It's been months since his last incident, and he just can't control himself, and he's been sending some signals that he wants some attention, that he might be acting out again, and I feel that could even happen before the next trial, and that would be a massive error.
Call the police, do it. Put me in a cell, like, do it. I'm waiting. Either put me in a cell or deport me. Like, let's get it over.
And now he's posting old videos of his criminal behavior like it's just another day. He's been posting videos about the Statue of Peace in Korea, an act that got him into trouble before. He's reposting these videos, clearly thinking about going to the statue again for attention. It's almost as if he's planning his next move for clout, or just because he's bored and wants to stir the pot again. But why exactly is Johnny reposting these videos now?
He has been reposting videos about the statue. This is why I decided to bring this up. This is why it's in my live is entitled "Don't Do It, Somali," because he's thinking about doing it. It's clear he's thinking about going to that statue for clout. And the news cycle is getting to where he would act out of attention, whether for clout or boredom, whatever, right? And you can see here. Now, I would encourage none of you to go to his social media. Do not feed the troll. I just clipped out what is important for you. So you guys do not have to go here. Do not feed him. Do not give him views. Do not do any of that. But you see what he's posting here. I asked Korean girls what they think of the comfort statue. And then my tribute at the Statue of Peace in Itaewon, right? So he's clearly, and he's reposting these. These are videos that he's choosing to repost just now in the past week or two. So what this symbolizes is he is thinking about that statue. He's thinking real hard about that statue and what he can do for attention, what he can do for clout, what he can do to get back on the map, to kind of get going, and get everybody's attention again. This is something he is thinking about because he is choosing to repost these specific videos.
The answer might be simpler than you think. He needs money. It's no secret that Johnny's financial situation is dire. His family has refused to give him money, and his allies have turned their backs on him. The only way he can make any money at this point is by getting ad revenue from platforms like YouTube. By reposting these videos, he might be hoping for some views that will translate into cash. But there's a darker motive at play too. Johnny may be trying to send a message to the prosecution and the South Korean legal system. He may be daring them to do something about it, challenging them to act. Johnny's actions also seem to point to another tactic he's trying to employ, playing the mental illness card. Yes, Johnny has already stated multiple times that he plans to tell the judge that his crimes were due to mental illness. He's even said that he'll claim to have bipolar disorder and that he didn't know what was going on when he committed these offenses.
When I go to the judge and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm mentally ill. I don't know what's going on. I have a bipolar disorder. And what may I do? I left my medication in America. I don't know what's happening, Your Honor. Please help me. I am a psychopath. I plead mentally insane." And they say, "Okay, go home."
But this tactic is flawed and dangerous. While some people might think it's a clever way to escape the consequences of his actions, it's more likely to backfire. The Korean authorities are not likely to buy into this narrative. After all, Johnny has been fully aware of his actions, especially when it comes to the statue controversy. This wasn't an accidental slip-up. It was deliberate, calculated behavior.
Help himself. And I don't mean that he can't help himself for mental issues. I mean, he has shown very clearly that he has actually planned his actions. He researched about the comfort woman issue, regardless of whether people agree with that or not.
Another disturbing thing about Johnny Somali is how he's been attempting to shift blame. He said multiple times that everything he did was for his audience, as if that somehow absolves him of responsibility. He claims that what he did wasn't criminal, that it was just part of his comedic persona. But let's be clear, this is a classic case of deflecting blame.
I feel like what I did still is not illegal. Obviously, it hurt people. I feel like when I tell a joke or I say some shit on my stream, it's just for me and my audience. Like, it's not supposed to, I feel like in some way I'm trying to be like a comedian in a way, like, you know what I mean? When I'm trying to entertain my fans or my supporters, it's not supposed to be taken serious.
You can't blame your audience for your own bad decisions, especially when you're the one who created the toxic environment to begin with. But here's the thing, the authorities are now paying attention. It looks like South Korean law enforcement is getting serious about going after Johnny Somali. In fact, his recent actions, reposting criminal videos, openly disrespecting the law, and attempting to manipulate the system, have only made things worse for him. The prosecution now has clear evidence that Johnny is not only guilty of his past actions, but he's also continuing to commit crimes by re-uploading the very videos that led to his charges in the first place. This could be the nail in the coffin for Johnny Somali. So what happens next? Will Johnny Somali continue to push his luck, or will he face the consequences of his actions? The odds are stacked against him. The legal system is watching, and his antics might just make things worse. It's clear that Johnny is trying to escape responsibility, but the longer he continues these stunts, the more it looks like he's digging himself into a deeper hole. His future is uncertain, and unless he changes course soon, Johnny could find himself paying a much heavier price than he ever imagined. What do you think about this whole situation? Will Johnny Somali get away with his tactics, or will the law finally catch up with him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.